Welcome to Science Without the Fiction Part 2, Epigenetics. Epigenetics is a fairly new branch of science that deals with genetics and genes and how they function. This is the idea that while the structure of your DNA doesn't change, parts of it can be turned on and off through chemical switches in your body that regulate genes. And it has a lot to do with your behavior and lifestyle. So for example, smoking or eating too much can make the genes for obesity in your body express themselves strongly. Psychological trauma and highly stressful events can affect the genes that control the brain's receptor for oxytocin, which is for love and trust. People that sleep poorly for just 1 week can show changes in 700 genes. Now the good news is that the opposite is also true. So leading a healthy life can allow your body to turn on healthy genes. You can also reverse hereditary defects as well. Research with rats and mice have shown that when they're placed in a maze, whatever they learn about that specific maze from their own experience, they then in turn pass that on to their offspring. Your DNA carries the memory of your parents' ancestry. Fear and anxiety are part of this, which you can inherit from your ancestors. This memory is carried in our genes. This is called genetic memory. If you experience significant trauma in your life, this can be passed on without us ever knowing it. Your epigenes influence the expression and carry these memories on from generation to generation, and they can change. But they do not evolve, they just change the way they're expressed. The sweet smell of fruit usually attracts rats. However, when they took the sweet-smelling fruits and added electrical shock whenever the rats smelled it, the rats quickly became afraid. Along the way, extra neurons sprouted in their noses, making them super sensitive to the smell. They were obviously scared of the shock, but associated it with smell. This, however, was passed on from generation to generation to their descendants, who were also afraid of the smell of fruit, and had the same extra neurons as their fathers. But how could they have inherited something that was never learned? Every cell in the body is constantly translating DNA into protein needed to carry out vital processes. But these chemical switches attached to the DNA can be turned on or off. These switches, called epigenetic tags, are why a kidney cell looks and acts a lot different than a nerve cell or a skin cell, even though they have identical DNA. We don't know exactly which genes are turned on and off, but we do know it happens in one key set of cells, sperm cells. That is why it gets inherited from generation to generation, and all rat descendants in that lineage will be scared of the scent of fruit. But this isn't just in rodents, as I said, it's in humans as well. Descendants of people who survived the Holocaust have different stress profiles than the rest of us, predisposing them to anxiety disorders. This was discovered by epigeneticist Rachel Yehuda. In Ivaklavik, Sweden, boys that suffered through harsh winter famines went on to have super healthy sons with extremely low rates of heart disease and diabetes. And their kids have the exact same excellent health, living an unbelievably 32 years longer on average than the grandsons of boys who had not gone hungry, proving that these gene switches can get turned on and off and passed on from generation after generation. The expression is controlled by what we do, proving that it's nurture over nature, and 2, proving that they are not beneficial mutations, which science has been telling the public for years, and 3, since epigenetic switches don't change the gene at all, rather just how it's expressed, it is more of a problem for evolutionary theory, which is losing the small, dwindling handful of what they previously thought were beneficial mutations, day by day.